Hey everybody, we're here once again. My name's Nate Jackson here is hosting interviews as part of Alex's Bar's ongoing streaming series. Right now we're here with Benz, owner of Sera. Anyone who's from Long Beach or has played in Long Beach knows your bar, and your venue has become like a real staple of the Long Beach scene. So thank you for hanging out and talking with me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course. Why don't we start off by just talking a little bit about how you got into the bar business? I think, people who may have played your club and toured and been through Long Beach have a respect for it, but talk a little about how you got into the business and started Quesera.
It was actually by a complete coincidence. I am a teacher by
Oh.
trade, and so I came to the United States in '77, and I only wanted to stay for 1 year to learn my second foreign language, and so things happened. I ended up staying here, and then I befriended the owner of the Quesera, Ellen Ward, at that time, and she asked me to just bartend on a Friday night just to help out, just to fill in, and so that's how it started. And surely, one night became two, three, four, and before I knew it, I
Yeah.
was promoted to manager of the Quesera.
Wow. Okay, so you came in just kind of like fresh, like
Right.
knew no experience with bars at all.
No experience.
And how has that been like looking back at now? It's been how many years since you?
Since '78, so
Okay,
42
so-
years that I've worked there.
Wow. Okay. So now looking back now, in terms of the experience you've gained, do you feel like this situation that we're in now, as hard as it's been, like your experience has that helped you kind of in any way get through where we're at now in terms of just being able to cope with what's going on?
No. This situation right now is completely unprecedented. When you own a bar or a venue, business is never just even. You get used to the ups and downs of the business, the highs and the lows, and that you can fight your way out of.
Yeah.
This pandemic is something that I have never experienced in 42 years, and it took me about 6 months to figure out whether there is at least a little bit of hope to continue and not just quietly go away and close the doors.
Right. And I think that's the one thing on everybody's mind right now is what support, what bailouts are the entertainment and live venue industries getting. And clearly it's been a struggle, and in most cases people haven't really gotten anything. Can you talk about your situation in that respect and how, like, have you gotten any kind of information or any aid at all?
I got a small business loan.
Yeah.
The PPP loan
Yeah.
really wouldn't have helped me a lot because my employees got unemployment. I
Right.
myself am on unemployment for the first time in my entire life.
Wow.
Do I have to rely on unemployment after 42 years? So I got a small business loan that has to be paid back starting the middle of next year with a low interest rate, but it has to be paid back over the next 30 years.
Wow.
So that money that I received in that small business loan just lasted up until September. Now, I still owe back rent, I still owe liquor bills, I still owe beer bills, but at least it got me here where I have not yet been evicted.
Right. And this is something that I think people may not understand if you're a customer at a bar or, even someone who's supportive of you, but they don't understand really the day-to-day stress that this has put on the business. Why is it important for people to kind of be aware of what's going on outside of just the fact that the doors are closed?
I think what people have to realize is how it would look in Long Beach without venues and with certain bars having to close and not being part of the Long Beach culture any longer. Would it be missed? Are we important? I personally believe we are. that we certainly add something to our community, and so I think people should take a look, and we are the only ones. We are the only ones that are still closed, and we don't have the right to open our doors. And of course, we are good people. We don't want to get people sick. That's the last thing we want to do, for sure. So, but on the other hand, I really truly believe that one business part should not be singled out,
Right.
to just be left on their own and not get any kind of help from
Okay.
our officials.
Exactly. And you talked about will you guys be missed? I can certainly say that as a member of the Long Beach music scene, I can say that you would be missed. But and I think a lot of people feel the same way. What has it been like? Because I know you guys had a GoFundMe recently
Yes.
sprout up. There's been some definitely posts, and people have been reaching out on social media talking about hey, save Que Sera. What's it been like for you as an owner, as manager, to see that come about, where the community has sort of tried to give back in some way?
Well, first of all, it was the absolute most humbling experience in my life, actually, at my age especially, for the first time ever, having to ask for help. And then part two was to be able to accept it gracefully. And people have been like just outpouring with showing their support and their love. And I compare it almost to a funeral, when people say wonderful things about you, when it's too late and you cannot hear it any longer. So it really does help your depression and your stress to get that kind of positivity back from people that just simply really do care and want to help. So
Yeah.
to all of those people, thank you so much, and it's so appreciated.
Definitely. Yeah, no, I definitely say that over the last several weeks, just seeing people talk about the bar and what it's meant to them. I mean, I can say that, I'm in a band that's played your bar, and I've never met you,
Right.
but I know Que Sera, and anyone who's been in the scene knows Que Sera. 4th and Cherry, that's, like a huge hub for the music scene. And what you guys have been able to do, sorry, it's 7th and Cherry.
Yeah, that's fine. It's
My
okay.
geography is off a little bit, but 7th and Cherry, and what you guys have been able to do over there has really made it so much of like what Long Beach is. And also amongst like the owners, you talked about the bar coalition that sprouted up. Why is it important for the owners to sort of come together during this time and show solidarity?
I think that you're always stronger in numbers.
Yeah.
You just, as a single person, you just call somebody at City Hall, or you shoot an email and you don't get any results. It took me 2 weeks just on my own to find out whether there is a grace period for all the license fees that were due in August. And of course, you don't have the money to spend $1,100 just to
Yeah.
renew your health license.
Right.
And so, to that point again, we are not asking for a handout from our officials. I have sat down and realized that in 42 years, I spend about $240,000 just in annual renewal fees of my licenses to the city of Long Beach.
Wow.
That's so much money, and
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with any other kind of overhead.
Right.
So we have the right. That has nothing to do with the taxes that we pay, the employees that we hire. I really truly feel that we have the right to speak up and show strength and make the city aware of
Yeah.
us
Right.
hurting.
Right. The city, the people that, are supporting, definitely the music scene. I feel like there's definitely a lot of people. I mean, even just what you quoted me just right now about how much you spend in renewal fees, that's got to be more than any money that has gone into production of shows and all that stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
that's on top of all that.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
on top.
Yeah.
I mean, You paid my dance and entertainment licenses due in January. I cannot even tell you. It would be boring for
Yeah.
people to know all about those licenses. But
Right.
that's sometimes when people even say, well, I can drink my beer at home, it's so much cheaper. But, sometimes customers don't realize
Right.
how expensive it is to run a business like that. And
Right.
the only overhead that is less since March for me personally is the electricity because I'm not running the air conditioning. All the other bills are the same.
Wow.
And the license fees only got a grace period, but the city made quite sure that I understand that it's not forgiven, that I now have until October 31st to pay it, but it's the full amount.
Wow. I mean, given that, yeah, just it's tough, but there's got to be a reason staying in this game as long as you have that. What is it that makes you want to continue on and try to salvage it and also just to press forward?
It's like when you ask the drummer that has to carry that huge drum set around, right,
Yeah.
and the hardware and all of it, and you say, why are you doing it? And you're not even getting paid, and they look at you and they go, I love it.
Yeah.
It's the love for music, and I think bar owners, especially the venues, because I kind of like really do run a venue according to our hours. We are only open from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. So we don't really have a daytime bar business or something. We just feel like the musicians. You love it. It's in your blood. It's in your soul.
Yeah.
And every fight that you have to fight to make things better, it is such an incredible high. It
Right.
really, truly is. Nothing
Right.
else can make you feel better besides maybe a good massage.
Right. No, of course, yeah. And on that topic, I mean, again, one thing I think that's so special about Que Sera is the fact that you guys are open to everybody. And I've literally
Right.
seen every form of music and every type of night that you could possibly
Right.
see, what's to you like maybe a special part of that, seeing different groups of people being able to share that experience together?
I like to compare the Que Sera to Disneyland of Long Beach.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That things happen that most likely might not happen someplace else. Coming from Europe, I think had a really big influence on me because Europeans have always been a little different. They don't really separate
Yeah.
as much than
Yeah.
what I found first when I came to United States, to California. I was a little shocked by the separation amongst groups, and so it was really my kind of directing the club. I wanted to completely get away from that, and wanted to really make it a people bar first and foremost,
Right.
and really wanted to make sure that everybody feels welcome.
Definitely. Well, I mean, you definitely made me feel welcome. You've made a lot of people feel welcome over the years and find their tribe. So,
Oh, thank you.
for that, I speak for them. I'm sure to say thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
And I appreciate you coming to talk with us today.
Thank you so much for the
Right.
opportunity. For the opportunity.
Of course.
Okay.